Good morning, everyone. I welcome all of you to today's class. In last class, we have studied what are the basic characteristics, basic ideas about the rights, and we have compared what are the differences between rights, privileges, and entitlements, and also have compared what is the distinction of rights with the power. Now we will study about what are the characteristics or features which are related to the concept of rights. So let's start. In last video we have discussed that rights. What the rights? Rights are the social claims which are recognized by the society and protected by the state, enforced by the state, and it is society is the creator of the rights, whereas state is the enforcer or protector of the right. Society is the creator and state is the protector of the rights. Okay, and right is different from power. In an uncivilized society, every human being is entitled to some extent of power and there is no restriction with the power, whereas rights has certain limited restriction, and it is different from the concept of privilege and entitlement. Rights are universal in nature, whereas privileges or entitlements are limited or they are possessed by few people. They are given to some selected few. Okay, or they are obtained as a matter of patronage, and this is the feature of undemocratic state, and this is the feature of democratic state. So these are the themes which we have studied in the last class. So let's start of today's topic, what it really means. So let's start. Features of rights. Feature of rights I have explained very clearly, but I am understanding the summary in short words, and I have here mentioned the key definitions of the rights given by various eminent scholars. So let's start. Features of rights. So rights are the social claims. Rights are the social claims. What are the rights? Rights are the social claims and which are recognized by the society and enforced by the state. So first point, the societal aspect, or we can say these are social in nature. Rights are social in nature. That means society is the creator of the right. The society is the enumerator of the right. The rights are emanated from the core of the society. Okay, if the society recognizes the rights, then only we can say the set of claims are rights. After the recognition by the society, after the recognition by the members of the society, this becomes the rights. Okay, and any right cannot be antisocial in nature. Antisocial कोई भी right antisocial नहीं हो सकता है. Of course और obviously कोई भी rights का इमानेट कहाँ से होगा? सोसाइटी से होगा. सोसाइटी इज द क्रिएटर ऑफ द राइट. एन आइसोलेटेड प्लेस which is excluded from the scope of the society cannot recognize any set of claims as rights. So rights are always social in nature. They cannot be antisocial. After being recognized by the society, state becomes the second point. State becomes the enforcer of the right. They are the protector of the right. Okay, first of all society उसको create करता है by the set of rules, norms, and once वो society के साथ इमर्ज होने के बाद स्टेट उसको प्रोटेक्ट करता है. हाउ द स्टेट इज प्रोटेक्टिंग द राइट्स? बाय टेकिंग लीगल एक्शंस. अगर हमें कोई सोसाइटी सेटअप राइट्स दे दे और उसका वायोलेशन होने से हम कोई भी जगह पे अप्रोच ना कर पाए तो उसका कोई वैल्यू नहीं. फॉर एग्जांपल कि हमारे पास राइट्स है, अगर गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन किया कोई भी हमारे एक्टिविटी में तो हमारा राइट टू अपोज द गवर्नमेंट, राइट टू वोट, राइट टू फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन, हम हमारे स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन को क्लियरली एक्सप्रेस कर सके, वो भी हमारे पास राइट है. इफ आवर राइट इज बीइंग वायलेटेड एंड आवर फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड राइट एंड ऑल्सो रेस्ट्रिक्टेड, देन हाउ वी विल अपोज टू द गवर्नमेंट? So state becomes the protector of the rights. State is responsible for protecting the rights of the individual by taking certain legal action against the violator of the rights. In case of infringement of our rights, state protects them and takes legal action them. That's why it is called state as the protector of the right, or it is responsible for enforcement of the rights which are given by the society. The society and state are the manager of the rights, which helps the individual to enjoy their rights in a fulfilled manner. Okay, so why we have अभी हम जान गए कि सोसाइटी रिकॉग्नाइज करता है एंड स्टेट हमें प्रोटेक्ट करता है, बट व्हाई द स्टेट एंड सोसाइटी आर मैनेजिंग दिस responsible of enjoying the rights by the individual? Why they are performing this task? Because rights helps the individual, because rights help the individual to attain its best self. ओके, राइट्स वो सेट ऑफ क्लेम होता है जो इंडिविजुअल को हेल्प करता है उसका बेस्ट सेल्फ अटेंड करने के लिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आज क्या किया गया ना, गवर्नमेंट हैज रेस्ट्रिक्टेड ऑल द प्रोविजंस ऑफ studying higher education, performing your own patient, and everywhere you are restricted. For example, like चाइना में आप अगर कोई डाटा भी यूज कर रहे हो तो उसका भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन गवर्नमेंट करता है. उनके पास फ्रीडम एंड चॉइस, लिबर्टी, राइट्स कुछ नहीं है. अगर वही केस हमारे यहाँ हुआ तो डेट मीन्स वी हैव नो राइट्स एंड देयर इज सर्टन लिमिटेशन और बाउंड्री इन आवर scope of working, and we cannot enjoy our best self. We can enjoy only our best self in circumstances of freedom, liberty, justice, rights. Then only we can realize our best self. Okay, so rights help the individual to attain their best self. Rights are responsible for welfare of the citizens. Okay, that's why it is protected by the state and recognized by the society. This is the third point. Okay, is it clear? The next point is right demands equality. Okay, right demands equality. Right and equality hand in hand चलते हैं. अगर हम एक state, if a state provides rights to a particular set of individual and neglecting the another section of the society, then we cannot say that the state is fruitfully protecting the rights of the individual. Rights always demands equality. That means rights are only become rights when the society should be equal for all and it is exercised by all. They should not be concentrated on specific privileged class of the section and by excluding the marginalized section of the society, or they are only limited to the privileged class like entitlements, and by keeping outside the marginalized class, then there is no meaning of rights. So rights always compared or always in hand relation with equality. Then this is the fourth point. Then next point, ये तो समझ आ गया कि स्टेट क्यों हमारे राइट को प्रोटेक्ट करता है. क्यों राइट को प्रोटेक्ट करता है? बिकॉज स्टेट ऑलवेज ट्राइज टू एंश्योर द बेस्ट सेल ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल, एंश्योर द वेलफेयर ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल, डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल, एंड these rights become a means to ensure the welfare of the individual, development of the individual, best self of the individual. Okay, अभी देखो, अगर ये एक राइट्स गवर्नमेंट हमारे लिए जो भी एक्शन ले रहा है वो अगर ठीक से एक्शन परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा है, हमारे पास वी हैव द राइट टू आस्क द गवर्नमेंट अबाउट द अकाउंटेबिलिटी ऑफ द एक्शन. इफ वी हैव नो राइट्स टू आस्क what is the performance, what is the activity performed by the government, then we are not looking the works of the government, and as the government is the representative of people, it is not performing the work for us. So these rights become the means for ensuring welfare of the citizens and also the development of the citizens. Then next point, crucial point, that is rights are keeps on changing. Rights are dynamic in nature. Rights are not the static in nature, they are dynamic in nature, because this is recognized by the society and protected by the state, and with the time society is also changing, that's why rights are also changing. For example, पहले क्या था, सती को एक लीगलाइज्ड एक्शन के रूप में देखा जाता था. डेट मीन्स उतना टाइम का सोसाइटी का पर्सपेक्टिव वही था, दे वर कंजर्वेटिव इन नेचर, डेट्स व्हाई सती वाज legalized for them, their legitimate action for them. But with the progress of time, the individuals become liberal, their mindset become open. So sati become a illegitimate action, or we can say illegal action. Then various revolutionary leaders started the process of attempting the abolition of sati pratha and so on. So rights are dynamic in nature, they are not static in nature. The next point is that they are subject to restriction. मैं लास्ट क्लास में बताई थी राइट्स एंड पावर के बीच में क्या डिफरेंस रहता है. राइट्स जो होता है उसका रेस्ट्रिक्शन रहता है, पर्टिकुलर बाउंड्री ऑफ वर्किंग रहता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे पास फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन हो और मैं किसी के बारे में भी कुछ भी जाके बोलूँ. मेरे पास आर्म्स एंड वेपन्स का पकड़ने का राइट्स है, बट ये इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं जाके किसी के लिए भी यूज करूँ. इसका सर्टेन लाइसेंस रहता है, जिसके पास जो कि आर्म्स एंड वेपन्स पकड़ सकते हैं उनके पास रख सकते हैं. लाइकवाइज राइट्स हैव सर्टेन restriction, but power का ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. there is no restriction for power in an uncivilized society. every individual has power, every individual has equal capacity and equal power to pursue their interest. So rights have certain limitation, they are not absolute, they are controlled by various restriction and limitation. They are not only the returns of our duty but also they correspond to what we perform. So here an important aspect that rights and duties are very important aspect, they are integrated with each other. Rights and duties, always remember duties. Duty means obligation, okay. So rights are inseparably bound with obligations. Rights respond to what we do. They are in nature of returns or rewards. Okay, they are given to us after we have given something to the society and others. राइट्स उतना टाइम स्टेट हमारा राइट्स को प्रोटेक्ट करता है, सोसाइटी उतना टाइम हमें राइट्स परमिट करता है व्हेन वी आर ओबिलाइज्ड टू गिव आवर ड्यूटीज टू द सोसाइटी, टू द स्टेट. How we will perform our duties? By respecting the rights of others. Okay, for example, I have given the right of freedom to walk in the road, but I should not hamper the person side by me who is walking in the road. Okay, इसीलिए बोला जाता है I will raise my hands, but my raise of hands should not disturb anyone. Okay, this is the concept of rights and duties. Rights are the rewards given to us by others in response to the performance of our duty towards others. How we are performing our duty in response to others decide to enjoy our rights. Rights of one individual becomes the duty of others. Okay, this is very important. Rights of one individual become the duty of others and they go hand in hand, mutually balanced with each other. Hence it's rightly said that dutiless right is meaningless right. जो राइट का ड्यूटी नहीं होता है उसका कोई मीनिंग नहीं होता है. इज इट क्लियर? वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट लाइन. और एक बार देखो क्या रहता है, ड्यूटीलेस राइट इज मीनिंगलेस राइट. ड्यूटीलेस राइट is meaningless right. That means they are very strongly integrated with each other. Okay, meaningless rights. It is only a world of duty where there is significance of rights. Only a world of duty can ensure a responsible set of rights. This is all about the concept of characteristics of rights. So I am summarizing the whole points like this. देखो पहले क्या रहता है, पहले ये सोसाइटी इज द क्रिएटर ऑफ द राइट्स एंड द राइट्स आर social in nature. They cannot be antisocial in nature. Rights cannot be emanated from an isolated society. Society is the creator and creator of the rights. The next point, state is the protector of the rights. After recognized by the society, state becomes an instrument to protect the individual rights by taking legal actions against them in case of infringement of one's rights. Then third thing, why the state and society are protecting the rights of the individual? Because rights help the state to ensure that welfare and development of the individual, and it also helps to realize one's best self. Okay. Then fourth point is that right is always moving with the concept of equality. There is no meaning of rights without equality. That means society should be equal for all sections of the society while enforcing the rights. Then fifth point, there is certain limitations or limitation or restriction with the rights are not absolute in nature. Okay. The next point, rights and duties go hand in hand. With the enjoying of rights depend upon how we perform our duty towards others. Rights of one individual becomes the duty of others, and rights are dynamic in nature. It keeps on changing with the changing nature of society. So this all about the characteristics of the rights. In next video we will study what are the evolution of rights. Okay, thank you so much.